Hello everyone, hello learners. So today, pag-aralan naman natin ang percentage composition of a compound. Alright? Now, so paano ba ito sinosolve? So for example, we have the problem. No? For example, the problem is calculate the percent mass of each element of a compound, ethanol or ethyl alcohol. So as you can see, meron tayong element na C, the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So our compound is ethanol or ethyl alcohol. So paano ba ito sinosolve? So step 1, let us calculate the molar mass. Okay? Kita nyo ba? So let us calculate the molar mass. So paano ba kinakalculate ang molar mass? So this one, we are going to break down the mass of carbon. We have the mass of hydrogen, yun, and let us calculate the mass of oxygen. So as you can see, ilang atoms meron kay carbon? So 2. Okay? So ilang atoms meron kay hydrogen? Excuse me, 6. Okay? Ilang atoms meron naman kay oxygen? 1. Alright? So, imumultiply natin ito sa mass ng element. So, paano natin makukuha ang mass ng element? So, if you have periodic table of elements, for example, this one, yan. So, dito natin siya makikita. This one. So, for example, carbon. So, ano ang mass ng carbon? So, we have 12. Alright? So, 12.01. So, sometimes it is given na sa ating problem. So, 2 times 12.01 gram per mole is equal to what? Okay? So, i-calculate nga natin using a calculator. So, 2 times 12.01. Yan. So, is equal to, yan, 24.02. So, we have 24.02 gram per mole. Alright? Other one, so 6. So, ang kanyang mass ay 1. Okay, we have 1.008 gram per mole. So, 6 times 1.008, so i-times nga natin. 6 times 1.008 is equal to 6.048. So, we have 6.048 gram per mole. The other one is 1. So, 1 times 16. Kasi ito ang kanyang the mass of oxygen, gram per mole. So, 1 times 16 is 16. 00 gram per mole. Now, to calculate the molar mass, i-add natin. So, the molar mass of ethyl alcohol, yan. So, we have, So, as you can see, ilan? Alright, the total, we have 46.07 gram per mole. So, let us compute. Kung tama, so we have 24.02 plus 6.048 plus 16.00. So, we have, yan, 46.068. So, i-round off natin. So, we have 46.07 gram per mole. So, this one, we are using 2 decimal places. So, meaning, step 1, nakalculate na natin yung molar mass at ang molar mass niya ay 46.07 gram per mole. So, ito na ba yun? Hindi pa. So, pupunta naman tayo kay step number 2. Ano yung step number 2? Okay, calculate the mass percent of each element. Okay? So this time, ika-calculate natin, step 2, ika-calculate natin yung mass percent na niya. Or sometimes it is called the weight percent of carbon in ethanol can be computed by comparing the mass of carbon in 1 mole of ethanol with the total mass of 1 mole of ethanol and multiplying the result by 100%. Meaning, to achieve this, meron tayong formula na percent or the mass percent is equal to mass of element. Okay? Mass ng isang element divided by the mass of compound. Then, multiply natin siya kay 100%. Alright? Now, so let's start. Okay? For example, so, computein muna natin ang A. Mass percent ng mass percent of hydrogen. Unahin pala muna natin ang carbon. So, kasi carbon. So, ito. So, anong kanyang, mass of element? So, the mass of element ng carbon ay 24.02 gram per mole. So, sulat natin. We have 24.02. So, ilagay natin dito. Yan. Para kitang-kita nyo siya. Yan. Check na ba? Yan. Alright. So, we have 24.02. Yan. 24.02 gram per mole. Okay. Gram per mole divided by mass of a compound. So, ito yon 46.07 gram per mole. Then, times natin siya sa 100% to get the percentage. So, we have to cancel. And using a calculator, so we have 24.02 divided by 46.07. Okay, times 100. So the answer would be 52.14%. So meaning the percentage of carbon ay 52.14%. Okay? So meron tayong percentage mass ng carbon. How about the mass percent naman ng hydrogen? Okay? Kita pa ba? So, hydrogen. So, let us use, okay, ano ang kanyang mass of element? 6.048. Okay, we have 6.048 divided by 46.07 times 100. So, is equal to, so using a calculator, let us compute. 6.048 divided by 46.07 times 100. So we have 13.13%. Ano? So round off natin yun. So meron tayong percent of hydrogen. And now to calculate naman the mass percent ng oxygen. So, we have, anong kanyang element? 16. Ano? Mass percent of element ng oxygen ay 16.00 divided by 46. So, dito pa din. Kasi parts, ito kasi parts divided by whole. Ano? To get the percent. So, 7 times 100. So, we have 16.00 divided by 46.07, we have times 100, ano, to get the percentage. So we have 73%. Ano? So do not forget to write the units. No, lagi natin tatandaan, lagi natin isusulat ang units. Mahirap kasi pag walang unit. Now, so yan, meron na tayong percentage ng carbon, Meaning, ang percent mass ng carbon kay ethyl alcohol or kay ethanol ay 52.14%. Ang hydrogen naman, meron siyang 13.13% at ang oxygen naman ay 34.73%. Now, let us check kung ano nga, total nga siya. So, check natin dito. So, we have 52. Check natin. Kita pa ba? So, check natin. So, we have percent of carbon, percent of 3, percent of carbon, hydrogen, percent of oxygen. So, let us compute. So, we have 52.14 plus 0.14% plus 13.13% plus 34.73%. So, equals 100. Ano? So, equals 100%. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, pag inad natin, equal siya kay 100%. Alright? So, that is the percent composition. Ano kung ilalagay naman natin siya sa pie graph? Okay? For example, lagay natin siya sa pie graph. Kunwari, for example, drawing ulit ako ng circle. Yan. So, kung ang kalahati niya ay 50, so dapat lamang siya. Okay? So, 50. Then, 52 lang naman. So, dito. So, yung may pinakamalaki, okay, yung pinakamalaki ay si percent of carbon na may 52.14%. Okay? Now, next, kung ang kalahati ay 25, ano yung 1/4 ay 25, so mag-add na lang tayo ng konti. So, tansyahin na lang muna natin. And for example, the remaining is the percent of oxygen ay 34.73%. And the other one, okay, percent of hydrogen naman ay 13.13%. So, ganyan kung ilalagay natin siya sa graph. So, para mas maganda, ay kulayan natin siya. Alright? So, kulayan natin. For example, I will color yellow para kay hydrogen. Okay? Para mas maganda. Yellow. Okay? Then, blue naman kay carbon. Okay, blue natin yung kay carbon. Yan. So, mas maganda, kukulayan natin para makita talaga natin yung tsura niya. Yan. Hindi lagpas pa. Parang hindi nag-grade Ellen. Next, red. Color natin ng red kay oxygen. Yan. Diba? Ganda. Yan. So, kung napansin nyo, mas kitang-kita natin na mas lamang o mas madaming percentage ang carbon kaysa kay oxygen kaysa kay hydrogen sa ating ethyl alcohol. Ano mas madami yung carbon? Alright? Thank you for listening. God bless.